fourth paper of 6 papers on WIT of Joseph Edition. Hello students, let us study the fourth paper of 6 paper of WITs in a simplified language. Okay, in the fourth paper, Joseph Edition explained how false wit had been expressed through punning, which means the word play often used where the words are differently used to create a twist in the language, and it is a kind of false wit used by the writers of 18th century in the Augustan age, which was caught hold of by Joseph Edition. He says the seeds of punning are in the minds of all men, and though they may be subdued, means overpowered, by reason, reflection, or by good sense, they will be very suitable to suit up in the greatest genius that is not broken and cultivated by the rule of art. Imitation is natural to us. Imitation means copying. You see, generally the children copy the parents or the teachers. That is called imitation. And when it doesn't raise the mind to poetry, painting, music, and other more noble works, it often breaks out in puns and quibbles, what Edison says. And regarding Aristotle, he said that in his 11th chapter of his book, Rhetoric, he described 2 or 3 kinds of puns, which he called as paragrams, among the beauties of the good writing, and produced the examples of them, out of which the greatest number of authors in the Greek used this. And Cicero, he has also sprinkled several of his words with puns. And in his book, where he laid down the rules of oratory, quotes, and abundance of saying a piece of wit, which also proved errant puns. That means Cicero also applied punning in his book, where he laid down the rules of oratory and quotes and different pieces of wits, which were proved, as I have told you now, arrogant puns. This was largely used during the reign of King James, who himself was a pun star. And during that time, the pun applied with the pomp and dignity. It was also used in the merry speech and ludious composition. Even now, means at that time in 18th century, this is used by the authors and council of church to please the bishop. Bishop means the Christian community head is called bishop. He added, Edition added, these great authors seems to have given a kind of sanction to the piece of falsehood, that all the writers of rhetoric who have treated punning with great respect, and they divided several kinds of wit into hard names that are ranked among the figures of speech and recommended as ornaments in discourse. Here Edison referred to another punster named Mr. Swan. He told me that he generally talked in the paranomasia that he sometimes gave into the fleshy, but that in his humble opinion he shone most in the Antanaclesis. Yes, I must not here omit that a famous university. I also remember that there are some universities which cannot be unlisted because they were very much infested with puns. He also said that one would wonder how it should be entirely vanished out of the land, since it has found a place in writing of the ancient polite authors. Here Edison also says, I suppose this may be repeated now and then, even the modern style of writing may copy this type of false wit of punning. Although this is known to be false, the writers apply it in their compositions. The authors like Isocrates, Plato, Cicero, uh, who have written several blemishes. It is except Quintilian and Lengunius, these two persons, accept them. These people have rampantly used this kind of false wit. To revive this false wit, we have to revive the letters, rhymes, and words used in the verse. However, sometimes it is found to be vanished, and sometimes it is found to be appearing again. This kind of wit makes no sense, no comprehension at all. Joseph Edison, dissatisfied by the punsters for the acrostics and epigrams used in their verse. For example, the epigrams used in which prayers that fell into the verse. When it was read either backward or forward, expecting only that it cursed one way and blessed in the other. Returning to the punning, I shall define, Edison says, I shall define it to be conceit rising from the use of two words that agreed in the sound but differ in the meaning. See here, agreed in sound but differ in the meaning. The only way is to try a piece of it to translate it into a different language. Here's once countryside man described pun as a sound, but no sound. Having pursued the history of a pun from its original to its downfall, Edison says that it is to be a conceit rising from the use of two words that are agreed in sound and different in sense. So, the only way to try a piece of wit is to translate it into different language. He said this. And then I have told you that. On the contrary, as that countryman has said, described in his nightingale, that it is a sound but not a sound. A man may represent true wit by description, which Aristotle makes of a fine woman. When she is dressed, she is beautiful. When she is undressed, she is beautiful. Or as Mercurius has translated it more emphatically, induitor and formas est. It is in their language, you know, French language. He said this. And overall, we want to say that in the fourth part of the six papers on wit, Edison has prepared a ground for objection of using punning, means word plays, in composition of the poems. Or he criticized the writers, the philosophers like Aristotle, Cicero, Plato, whatever, many names I have given you there, for different types of, acrotics and anagrams they have used. And particularly This burning has been criticized by Joseph Edison in this paper. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching.